What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Realism Sports Talk, episode 21. The last division that we got to do is the NFC and AFC West predictions. Hope everybody's doing all right. It's been a minute. A lot of stuff going on in the news. We'll get to, but this is Football Friday, and it's all about the QBs. Everything we talk about is about the QBs today. Since QBs are taking over the news, Patrick Mahomes getting all this money. Certain ones ain't signed, certain ones did sign. So we're gonna get into it. But we're gonna start with the division. Last division, AFC West. Had to wear my the only hat I had. But we're gonna start off with the fourth place team, I think. It's gonna be the Raiders. I just don't know what's going to happen with David Carr. I think that's why they signed Mariota real fast. I like the weapons that they're drafting. I like that. I like Josh Jacobs. I like the tight end. I just don't think that defense is ready for that division. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is in that division. You got to step that defense up. Third place team, I'm going to go with. I might get some argument about this one. I'm gonna put the Chargers there. I think their defense is studs. I think the defense is rocking, and I think it's gonna be a good fantasy defense too. Sleeper alert, but I just don't know about the quarterback. That's what it is. I mean, even with Phillip Rivers was whatever, but can Justin Herbert come in there? Is Tyrod Taylor gonna lead them? You know, Melvin Gordon's gone now. Can Austin Eckler handle that load? Who knows? I think that's why I'm putting them third. But I think the third and second place team's going to be real close. They might even tie, to tell you the truth. Second place team, I think it's going to be a sleeper team. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but I think that they can contend. They might be a little scary. It all depends on the quarterback. Quarterback show. Broncos. They've drafted well. Got some weapons in there. They got the tight end last year. Hey man, if Locke can come in there and stay healthy and be good, and Locke might be the answer. I mean, he might be that sleeper QB from the rookies a year ago, you know. But yeah, Melvin Gordon there. You know, the defense is always good. You got Von Miller, you got a chance. I mean, Von Miller is still a stud. So obviously the number one team, $500 million trillion man, Patrick Mahomes. And they were smart in keeping their defensive guy. I mean, I think that's huge. Because the defense is the only thing. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is going to score. But all it takes is one playoff game, Lamar Jackson, to have a bad playoff game and your defense give up 50 points. You know, so their defense has to continue to get better. But I think the Chiefs are definitely the team to beat. But watch out for those Broncos. Trying to compete for a wild card. I don't think it's going to happen. I think the Raiders are going to take a step back, even though they're going to have a lot of fanfare with the new stadium and everything. Their defense, I'm just not happy about it. And David Carr, I don't know if he's confident now with Mariota being behind him. I mean, or it might push him. We never know, but I'm going to stick with that order. We'll see what y'all say about that. All right, the NFC West. This might be one of the toughest divisions in football besides the AFC North. I mean, you got four teams that anything can happen. I mean, the four quarterbacks in this division, they can hit the ceiling or they can hit the floor. And by the way they're getting paid, they should be all hitting the ceiling. But anyway, fourth place team, which is I think is going to be third and fourth, I think are going to be really close. Another one that could be a tie within one game. Or if they flip-flop, I would not be surprised. But I'm going to still stick with the Cardinals being fourth place. Kyler Murray, another year growing. Got D-Hop with him. Is Kenyon Drake really the answer? Or was he just, you know, I mean, because I remember him being with the Dolphins. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work. But I think they're going to be competitive. I think they're going to be competitive. I mean, they were competitive last year. They battled the 49ers and the Seahawks in that division tough every game. I think the Cardinals are going to be a really tough team, maybe a 7-9 team, something like that. But nothing for the division. Third place, the Rams. I just don't know how they're going to go. I don't know who the running back's going to be. They got like 3 different people, but is one of them going to step out? I mean, is Cam Akers going to be the guy? Is Malcolm Brown? I mean, I don't know who's going to be the guy. And then you lose, Brandon Cooks. Now you still got Cooper Kupp. You still got Robbie Woods. I just don't know. And it all comes to Jared Goff. Is Jared Goff? I mean, we saw the money he got, but is he that? And is McVay still that genius that we thought he was? Or was he just something that just popped out and, like the Wildcat offense was cool to look at one year and all of a sudden people caught up with him? I don't know. Guess we'll see. Number 2 team, and I went back and forth with this, back and forth. Because this is the quarterback show. When you look at Russell Wilson and you look at Jimmy Garoppolo. But it's a team game. So I'm going to have to put the Seahawks second. If they would have signed Davion Clowney, maybe I'd help them. But I just don't know about their defensive front and their offensive line. I mean, Russell Wilson's running around like crazy. Good thing they have Russell Wilson to do that. Because a stationary quarterback could not survive. But I think they're going to battle the 49ers. I would not be surprised if they won a division at all. Not surprised. But my number 1 team, the Niners again. We'll see how they go. Running backs trying to leave. Raheem Mostert's trying to leave. Brady's already gone. Emmanuel Sanders is gone. Deebo Samuels has to step up. Tight end can't make every play. Garoppolo's got to make plays. The defense can't do everything. So we'll see. I mean, who knows? We saw how it was in Seattle with Richard Sherman when the Legion of Boom was making all the plays and the offense couldn't step up. Don't let that happen again. Because Richard Sherman will chirp. And that could just... Because Kyle Shanahan, in my opinion, can't handle none of that pressure. So, I would not be surprised if the Seahawks won the division. But on paper, I'm going to have to go with the Niners. So there we go. AFC West, Chiefs. NFC West, Niners. Same teams that were in the Super Bowl. But I do not think that that's going to be a repeat of the Super Bowl. We'll do playoffs another episode. No way. All right, the first category we're going to debate tonight is breakout QB. Who do we think the breakout QB is going to be? We got 8 choices. We got Kyler Murray, Teddy Bridgewater, Sam Darnold, Dwayne Haskins, Gardner Minshew, Drew Lock, and Daniel Jones. And the last one is it going to be a rookie? Is it going to be Herbert or Tua, one of them stepping up? All right, so let's start with the first one, Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray, I think, already broke out anyway last year a little bit. The next issue is, can he make another jump? Or is he just going to be one of those players that they weren't used to him and then they figured him out, RG3, and then he's gone? Is that what it's going to be? I mean, they gave him more weapons. You got Fitzgerald coming back. You got Nuke. So we'll see about him. Teddy B, hey, you got some money. You taking over for Cam. You going in there in the offense, they believe in you. Were you a fluke with the Saints with all those weapons? Or are you for real? Sam Darnold. We keep hearing about you being the chosen one. But all we keep seeing you say is, I'm seeing ghosts out there. I'm seeing ghosts. So, are you going to come through now or what? Or is it just wasting time in the Jets? Dwayne Haskins. As a Redskin fan, as a Washington Red Wolf, Red Fire, Red this and that and this fan, you got to do it, baby. You got to come through. Because we had a chance to get Cam. Could have been with his old coach. But the owner loves you. So you got to come through, baby. Because I feel like our defense is going to be nice. We got to see some kind of improvement. As a as a realistic Washington fan, I understand. We're probably not going to make the playoffs, probably not going to be anything. Just look good that I can think for the future, at least. Gardner Minshew. Hey, Gardner Minshew. So many quarterbacks were on the open market, and the Jaguars took none of them. So you better show up because, I don't know, the mustache was flying high last year. But is he going to break out? Do the Jaguars know something better than us? Drew Lock. I already talked about Drew Lock with the Broncos. You got weapons now, baby. You got receivers and running backs. Don't forget about Philip Lindsay, too. You got running backs, receivers, tight end. I mean, they set you up, bro. I mean, Drew Lock, you got to come through. It can't be like this end of the year fluke stuff, whatever. You got a whole year now. Do it to it. Let's go. You in the division with Patrick Mahomes. You got to perform. And the last one's Daniel Jones. People booed him in the beginning. People said he was the real deal, and he kind of cooled off, whatever. Is he going to take that next step? You know, you got Jason Garrett as your offensive coordinator now. Hey, is he going to push you? So I'd like to hear y'all's choices about that. My thing, I think I'm going to still stick with Kyler Murray. I think Kyler Murray is going to be the breakout QB. I think he's going to surpass what he did last year. I think he's looking at Lamar Jackson and looking at Mahomes and looking at different things that he can do with his feet. And the biggest thing for me is his coach. His coach knows how to put him in the right situations. He knows what he's dealing with. It's not like somebody just drafting like, oh, number one pick, blah, 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 blah. This coach has known him for a long time and known his skill set. And I think each year they're going to be able to put him in different situations. So I'm going to go with Kyler Murray. I hope Dwayne Haskins, but I'm going to go with Kyler Murray. Second place to Drew Lock. I think he's going to come through. The next category is put up or shut up QB. These QBs have either gotten money or were high picks or a huge, trade or something or whatever. So the first one we got is Jared Goff. You got paid a ton. And yeah, you went to the Super Bowl where you scored single digits. But it's time to do it. Jared Goff. They had to get rid of Todd Gurley because they can't afford to pay all y'all. Now, granted, Gurley's getting hurt all the time, but hey. Next one, Carson Wentz. Speaking of getting hurt all the time. But you got a fat paycheck, too. Fat paycheck, Carson Wentz. And now you got Jalen Hurts behind you. Not saying that he's going to come take your job or nothing, but you got a big money thing in there. I mean, hey, I've seen people release quarterbacks. Next one's Mitchell Trubisky. I think we already know having Foles come in there, it's put up or shut up for him. I think he's actually going to perform. If they give him a chance to go one-on-one, I think he can perform. I don't even know it's all his fault because there's some games I saw that he can run. I didn't know he could run like that. He's an athlete. Mix up the plays a little bit for him. Spread him out a little bit. The next one, Baker Mayfield. Hey, man, you do a lot of talking, bro. A lot of talking. And your team is stacked. And now you got Austin Hooper tight end too. I mean, I don't even know what you want me to say. Your wide receivers are stacked. You got 2 dope tight ends. You got 2 dope running backs. Your offensive line got improved. You got the number one tackle from Tennessee. I mean, put up or shut up, bro. And the last one, Jimmy G. Yeah, you're a handsome guy. You date porn stars and all that. Jimmy G from the Patriots. Jimmy G. Jimmy G. In the Super Bowl. You could have a ring on your finger if you could throw it right to Emmanuel Sanders. So, put up or shut up. Because they could have got Tom Brady to replace you, and that probably would be a Super Bowl team. But instead, they're valuing you. So, hey, put up or shut up. Those 5 people, who we gonna pick? I'm gonna have to go with Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, number 1 pick. But really, because his team is loaded. Your team is loaded. I know you're in a tough division. Maybe the toughest division out of all of them. But, man, your team is loaded. And you are number 1 pick. And You run your mouth. So, put up or shut up. Come on. I'm pulling for you, though. Next category. QBs with the most to prove this year. I only got 5 on here, but I think they all got something to prove. So much money going around everywhere, it's crazy. But I'm down to 5. Obvious one. Cam Newton. You got something to prove. You going in there, what'd you say, the elephant in the room, Tom Brady. I mean, you trying to get paid. You took chump change. You definitely got something to prove. If you want more money or you want to be out the league, either way, this is going to be a big year for you, bro. Tom Brady is my number 2 guy. Something to prove. You left your comfort zone. You left where you've been successful. You left a place that put you in positions to be the GOAT. Is it your ego? You cocky now? Well, then live up to it. Because you got way more weapons in Tampa Bay than you had in New England. But you ain't got Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels. So now you got something to prove. The next one, Aaron Rodgers. They ain't get you no wide receiver help in the draft. They did get you bunches of funches, though. But they did draft a quarterback in the first round. They do like to run the ball. You and the coach, I don't know. You might have something to prove that you're going to stay or just be a cheesehead. The next one, Drew Brees. Many people thought he was going to retire. He's coming back. He's got something to prove. I mean, he's had heartbreak after heartbreak after heartbreak in the playoffs the past few years. So I think you do got something to prove. They got Jameis Winston backing you up. He wants to learn behind you. But if anybody was being realistic, he wants your job, bro. So, I mean, you're a Hall of Famer. New Orleans is going to love you forever. But one ring, you need another ring. You got something to prove. And my last one is Dak Prescott. Hey, you did the Kirk Cousins. You betting on yourself. But see, the difference in you and Kirk Cousins was Kirk Cousins was playing for the Washington team. You playing for the Cowboys, which has way more prestige being the quarterback for them as opposed to the Washington team. So be careful. Be careful, because I don't know how long that's going to last. I don't know if he's going to be a Cowboy, after this year or next year or whatever, how many franchise tags he gets. But so my choice right there is going to be Dak Prescott, because you're betting on yourself. Tom Brady already won his. If he don't win, whatever. Drew Brees won his. Aaron Rodgers, they're all Hall of Famers. Cam Newton, he always can blame the injury bug. Well, he was a super duper star and then he got injuries, so da-da-da. Dak Prescott, you were a 4th round pick. Quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. They offered you certain money. You believed you deserved more. You betting on yourself. If you don't come through this year, you're going to go from being a Cowboys quarterback to like the Jaguars or somebody overpaying to get you out there. Life's going to be definitely different after that. Maybe you should count your blessings and remember where you're at. But Dak Prescott, you my QB with the most to prove this year. And so my last thing I'm going to talk about real quick before I get to one other guy. I know Teddy Bridgewater got his deal. It wasn't, it was a nice deal, but it wasn't like Russell Wilson got his money. He's second highest quarterback or whatever, first, whatever. But he's Russell Wilson, so you can't really argue that. But do we think race affects financial decisions for QBs? And I never really thought about it until I started thinking about the quarterbacks that got signed and everything. We saw the Bears and we were like, oh man, somebody's going in there. They're going to get that job. Da, 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 da. Then they draft Nick Foles, or they trade for Nick Foles. And then we see Dallas with issues with Dak and da 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 da. We're like, ooh, who's going to go there? And then they take Andy Dalton. And then we see the Jaguars and we're like, oh my gosh, all these free agent quarterbacks. Who's going to go there? Oh. They need to make a splash. And they sign no one. And Gardner Minshew's still there. And then we see the Colts. Yeah, I knew he's familiar with the coaching staff and all that. But the Colts got some weapons, man. They got a strong offensive line, and they signed Phillip Rivers. So I look at these people, and I'm just like, okay. And then I look back a couple years, and I see Carson Wentz, like we talked about, gigantic deal when he barely proved anything. Jared Goff, gigantic deal when he barely proved anything. And then Kirk Cousins, who's still mediocre to me. I feel like he's just always going to be an average quarterback. But he still got money. He still got his money, though. So, what's the common denominator in all those quarterbacks I just said? And like I said, I never really thought about this until I thought about this. And then so I look at guys like Jameis Winston. Yeah, he wasn't the best or nothing. He wasn't this. That everybody knows the talent's there, though. Okay? You can't tell me he couldn't have went to certain places and competed. The Colts and the Jaguars. And he couldn't have been a backup for Dallas. Or he couldn't have competed with Mitchell Trubisky in Chicago. Come on. Come on. Come on. And the next one. Like we said, Cam just got signed. For nothing. Nobody wanted him. Yeah, I know there's medical issues or whatever. But they said that he's 100%. He's clear. So you're telling me Cam Newton wouldn't deserve a shot for some of those other teams I was saying, and he just got signed. And then we look at Colin Kaepernick. What happened with that? I don't know. And last but not least, Dak Prescott. I know if Tony Romo was Dak Prescott, that deal would have been signed. He'd have got all the bread. All of it. So, I'm not saying it is an issue, but I think it's something that people need to be looking at. We're looking at all these the Rooney Rules and all that. And I think it doesn't start always at the top. You got to look at the bottom and then come up and start looking at different things. You look at the coaches. But what's the thing that they always say? That minority players don't have the intelligence to play that quarterback position? Wouldn't that be the first stepping stone before we get to coaches and GMs and owners and all that? I think we should look at things like that because there's certain things that are head scratchers right now. Just the names that I just put out there. I don't know. And since we talked about Colin Kaepernick, what happened to all the Colin Kaepernick hype? With all this Black Lives Matter and all that going on, everybody's talking about, oh, Cap needs to be back. Oh, Cap. Oh, yeah, teams are interested. It's just like a smoke screen, like always. People putting something in the media to get everybody to hush up. Roger Goodell saying, oh, we're going to stop apartheid. We're going to stop apartheid. Like I said, I got to see your actions. I got to see you kneeling. I got to see you doing stuff. Everything's poo-pooing everything away. What happened? Oh, those teams not interested anymore? Oh, they wanted to be interested so they could say that we support Black Lives Matter. Yeah. All right. Yeah, we were interested in them. We're not going to do it, but we were interested in them, though, because we support Black Lives Matter. See, that's what the problem is. People do a lot of talking, but don't do any actions. So I'm trying to say, man, it's crazy. But what teams would Cap even fit with now? What teams? Well, I got 8 of them. Got 8 of them. Obviously, my number 1 team was Seattle, backing up Russell Wilson. I think that would be a match made. Coach and everything about it would fit perfect. Then I had the Steelers. After Big Ben, what's going to happen? Why can't he learn under Big Ben and Mike Tomlin? Learn under them. Figure out something. Mike Vick went there. Remember when Mike Vick went there? He don't have to come in there and try to battle a job. You're not going to take Big Ben's job, but just learn after him. Or go after the GOAT. Go be the backup for the Bucks. Who is the backup for the Bucks? I don't even know. But go sitting in that QB room with Tom Brady. Why not? Obviously, we talked about the Jaguars. The Jaguars, they're going to probably sell their team. Nobody goes to their games. They're going to be like, oh, we're only going to have a quarter of the fans in our stadium because of COVID-19. The Jaguars are like, shit, that's how much we got anyway. So go ahead and make a splash. Go ahead and make a splash. Bring them in. Buffalo Bills. The time is now for y'all Buffalo Bills. Tom Brady's gone. I know Cam's there, but hey, y'all pushed him last year. Is Allen the guy? Is Josh Allen the guy? Get Cam in there and battle with him a little bit. They got similar skill sets. What's wrong with bringing in a backup to compete? The next one, the Colts. What you gonna do when old man Rivers is gone? Are you gonna go back to the people that you had? I mean, is that what you're gonna do? Why don't you get a backup like Cam in there ready to roll? What about the Browns? We talked about Baker Mayfield. He was my put up or shut up QB. If he can't put it up, who are you putting back there? I see you got Nick Chubb. You got Nick Chubb, who's a stud running back. But what did you do? Hey, let's go and get Kareem Hunt too. Let's go and get let's bring in more assets. Why wouldn't you want to bring in another asset to push Baker Mayfield, who was your top pick, your number one priority? You can't tell me he would not concentrate a lot more when you got Cap sitting behind you. I'm just saying. But my number one team, the Browns would be my number two team though. My number one team is the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones loves controversy, loves media, he loves everything. And if this Dak Prescott thing don't work out, he'll be ready for next year. Why not? The only thing they're going to argue with is you got one owner who's, shall I say, a certain way that we're not going to kneel for the national anthem. And then we got one. That might be the only obstacle for it. But I'm just saying. My top three would be Dallas, Cleveland, and Seattle. Those would be my top three. But the bigger issue is, where'd the hype go? Black lives still matter. What happened? What happened? Talk is cheap. Talk is cheap. And I'm going to leave it on that note. Everybody be safe. Take care of yourselves. Come on, give us some college football. Hey, thank y'all, man. Have a good one.